Brothers and sisters, was pointed out before, 3%. 3%. That's the voting record, the AFL-CIO voting record of Congresswoman Nan Hayward. But luckily, her days as a Congresswoman are coming to an end. In the 18th Congressional District, we've endorsed Patrick Maloney, and his laser focus on education and worker training and job creation and generating revenue for this country is just what the middle class in this country wants and needs. I am proud to introduce to you our endorsed candidate in the 18th CD, Patrick Maloney.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, Mario, and all of you who stood for election. It's always nice for me to meet people who actually know how to win elections, so thank you. It's great to be in your company. And I want to say this morning, before I say anything else, I want you to know, I would not be standing here without the working men and women of organized labor. It is just that simple. It is just that simple. It's the truth. I'm not going to forget it. And I want you to know something, that my friends in the Hudson Valley, like, you know who you are. Like Paul, Alice Graham, Jeanette, Beth Soto, the incomparable Beth Soto, and Brian Pugh, and all of you who helped and worked. I want you to know something. People say, well, you got the support of 12 unions in your primary, and that's why you won, and that's true. But it also showed me why I wanted to win. It showed me what was important. And I want you to know something. I have watched you. I have watched you every day. The first event I did in this campaign was going out on the picket line with the guys from CWA. Where are you? You're here? You're getting screwed over by Verizon, standing with you out at the Verizon store in Fishkill, New York on Route 9. And one of you said to me, I'm 53 years old. What am I going to do if I don't get a contract? Where am I going to live? Where are my kids going to grow up? Because I can't afford to stay here anymore. I have watched you work. I have seen your struggle. I know what's in your hearts. And so you have given me a reason to run, and I want you to know something. I know it's been tough lately. I know it's been tough lately. You've been kicked around. You've been blamed. You've been deserted by a lot of Democrats who said they were your friends, and they aren't. But I know something. I know something. I know what's in your hearts. I know what you're made of. I know that other people wreck this economy. They're trying to blame it on you. It's wrong. I am sick of people running down working people. We need a Congress that is good as you are. And so here I am running against Nan Hayward. And I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something. If somebody can tell me what the hell's going on in Washington, I would sure appreciate it. I mean, is there something in the water down there? Have you all been watching the news the last couple of days? We had one guy who spent the weekend talking about legitimate rape. A Republican from Kansas. Did you see this?
Yeah. Whoa.
Well, anybody who thinks there's something called legitimate rape is a legitimate idiot, and we need to say that. We had another guy who thought it made sense to get drunk and swim naked in the Sea of Galilee on a congressional trip. What is going on in Washington with these Republicans? Have they lost their minds?
Yes.
Now my opponent, Nan Hayward, so I tell that to you because I want you to know something. The competition is stiff, but she is the worst member of Congress in New York. She's the worst. And here's why. It's not because she believes in legitimate rape. Though she has said nothing about that, and her spokesman suggested we hurl acid on female Democratic senators who disagree with us. That's true. And it's not because she got drunk and swam naked in the Sea of Galilee, though she was on the trip. She is the worst member of Congress from New York because she is a legitimate believer and she is drunk on this dumb philosophy that if we keep giving tax cuts to multimillionaires like yourself and take away Medicare for all of you, then we're going to make this a better country. That is wrong. I don't believe it. We can do better. Now, look, I don't come from money. I don't come from a political family. My dad started out at U.S. Steel. He got paid 12 times a year. He got paid $300 a month. He had 6 kids. Irish Catholic family, right? 5 brothers and a daughter. You can clap for that, yeah. You know, in an Irish family, they find out who's tough by, you know, you got 6 kids, you put out 4 potatoes. You ever seen that? So I want you to know I've been tested. This is a piece of cake compared to that. But I'll tell you something, you know, they made it. They made it raising 6 kids. My mom stayed home and worked in the home. She worked like a dog every day raising us kids. And they made it on one income because they had a government that had their backs. They had a government that believed in them, that gave them things like the GI Bill that allowed my dad to get good insurance and good education. They had things like federal support for long-term 30-year fixed mortgages so they could buy a house. They had good schools for their kids to go to. They had a government that believed in the middle class. And so we made it. I got to go to college. I got to go to law school. I ended up working for President Bill Clinton on the White House senior staff. And I spent... Thank you. And I spent 3 years of my life watching how Bill Clinton and the Democrats made choices in Washington. We didn't get everything right. We didn't get everything right. But we got the big things right. And I hear these guys talking about reducing the debt, reducing the deficit. There's only one team that's done it, and it's the Democrats. We balanced the budget. We paid down the deficit. We ran surpluses. We were paying down the debt. And we didn't come after Medicare. We didn't come after Social Security. We kept believing in education, and we kept believing in infrastructure, and we kept believing in the future and in our kids. And we were going to do it together as one country. And that's the right way to go. So we have been here before. We have been here before. Somehow, for 47 years, in and out of wars and crises, in and out of terrorist attacks and all sorts of struggles, we have preserved the Medicare program. You cannot tell me that it's time to end it. You cannot tell me that we can't do better. And I got a few ideas on how to do that. One is that we can stop. Paul Ryan and Nan Hayworth want to give $4 trillion more in tax cuts to multimillionaires who already got them, who don't need them. Well, let's start with that money before we end Medicare. Let's stop. Just common sense. Let's stop rewarding companies that ship our jobs overseas. Let's do that before we end Medicare. Let's stop giving huge tax breaks to oil companies that are most profitable companies on earth. They don't need them. Let's use that money to save Medicare. Folks, this is about choices. It's about choices, and it's about who we are. And one of the reasons I'm so proud of the support of organized labor, is that you remember something very simple. It's a very simple American idea. That here everybody matters. We all count. And if we're going to build a better country, if we're going to be as great as we've been and as we can be, then we have to do it together. We have to do it together. We can't have a country where only a small number of people get all the benefits and all the rest of us go begging. That's not America. This is as fundamental as the founding documents. It is as old as Scripture. We either take care of one another and believe in one another, or we aren't America anymore. It's just that simple. And that's what's at stake in this election. Now, I can win this race. She's vulnerable. I'm strong. We're going to win this race. But I want to win it for a reason. And I want to do something when I get to Congress. And so I'm counting on all of you to remind me what's at stake in this election. And I want to make you a pledge. I will not be one of these Democrats. You're going to see my picture on some milk carton like I gone missing, never know what happened to me again. I am proud to stand with you. We are stronger together. We will be stronger together. We will be strongest when we win and when we start making better choices for America. So thank you, Labor. Thank you, Hudson Valley Area Labor Federation. Thank you, Westchester Putnam. Thank you for all of you who helped, who endorsed, who will work, who will not, who will go out there and get on the phone, because we can win this race. And when we do, we're going to build a better country for you, for your kids, for your future. And it's going to be the kind of place you want to live in. The kind of place where work is respected. The kind of place where middle class state, whether you're black or white, whether you're man or whether you're woman. That's the country I believe in. That's the country I want to fight for.